Hello and welcome to another week of Soap Secrets, and we are going to be talking to the lovely Claire up today, and we're going to be talking about Emmerdale, Corrie, Hollyoaks and EastEnders. Now, without further ado, let's start with Emmerdale because it's been quite a week, hasn't it?
It is. Meena is back this week. Well, she's never been away being bad.
She's so awful. She is awful.
But I like the way they keep her bubbling. She's not a grey. She hasn't murdered and then gone really quiet. She's bubbling away like a volcano. You're never quite sure when she's going to erupt. So I think this is great. And she does something absolutely shocking this week. Now we know that she's in love with David and she is currently living with him. But of course we know that David and Victoria have had a bit of a snoggette. Mm-hmm. And they also bond because that Theo, David's son, and Harry, Victoria's son, are about the same age. So they do a lot of co-child caring, helps them both out. It's a great thing. So Meena is really jealous of how David and Victoria are bonding over this. She can see them getting closer and closer. They have things in common, don't they? Talking about their kids and things. And then when David rejects an afternoon of steamy snuggling, that's what I'm going to call it because this is family, with Meena for childcare duties, which one would you choose, Hannah? She becomes really jealous and angry and she wants to do something really horrible to Victoria. So this is so shocking. When Victoria is looking after both Theo and Harry, she spots her chance, sneaks into the house, snatches little Theo and takes him away.
Oh, I hate it when children are involved. I can't watch this sort of thing. It really bothers me.
Yeah. So Victoria's nipped upstairs to see what Harry needed. I think he was having a nap. But downstairs, Theo was perfectly safe. They had child gates on and he was just sitting there doing whatever tots do while the person who was looking after him just nipped upstairs. And when she comes down, obviously the child gate is open and she thinks that Theo's wandered off. So she's massively, massively panicked because nobody would... Well, we don't know. The village doesn't know that Meena's a killer. And you wouldn't think that anyone would steal a child. So, a desperate search gets underway. Will Meena return the little tot?
God, I hope so. I hope she doesn't do anything. I can't deal with anything with children or animals. It's just too much for me. She's so horrible. She's scraped the bottom of the barrel now. She's going further, It's just
I know. And then there's more shocks this week because Layla discovers she's pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
What a time for this to happen because her new husband, a month ago, lost his teenage daughter. So he's really not. It's not a good time. I mean, babies should always be welcomed, but I think Liam isn't really in the right headspace for this at the moment.
But he was party to it. Yes. I'm just saying that.
Takes two to tango.
He needed to have a think about what he was doing. But it was before it all happened. I mean, yes. In some ways. It may be a happy distraction, if you can call it that, given, how terrible, because what's happened is utterly terrible. But if there can be something to try and lift him, maybe that's it.
Yes. But Layla's a bit nervous about telling him, and I don't really blame her because he is, his grief, it will take years to go. He thinks, he doesn't know his daughter's been murdered. He thinks, she fell from a bridge. So... It must be very tricky for him. Very, very tricky.
Oh, God, it's all happening. I mean, don't you just find your weeks are just kind of consumed by watching these soaps because there's just so much going on? You kind of hope that one will be not quite as good as another so you can maybe, choose. And we get a little insight, don't we, by doing this as well. But no, it's not to be. So, Corrie, definitely not missing this one because my favourite storyline is literally, it's just running and running the storyline, isn't it? Because Ty... I don't know how he accidentally proposed to Alina. Accidentally. Tell us more.
I know. I don't know how you accidentally propose. So they're not obviously communicating. Ty manages to accidentally propose this week, and he doesn't correct Alina. So we start the week with Fizz in a police cell. So we saw last week her being arrested by the police. She's in a police cell. She is maintaining she set fire to the salon flat, and that it wasn't Hope, and she's taking the blame obviously to save her daughter. Ty realises that Hope needs help, and he realises that actually he needs to man up, and he does tell the police the truth. So Evelyn is the voice of reason in all of this. She's the one that's saying, really, what are you doing? You just can't do this. And she forces the pair to put on a united front and talk to Hope about it all. The police are going to gently question her. It's very difficult, the police questioning a small child, and Hope's already, she has form on this sort of thing, so it is all a bit tricky. When she reveals all, and she does say she used a nail polish remover as an accelerant, Fizz and Ty reel to think that Hope could actually face trial. And this is quite a serious facing trial.
Very. Very.
So the streets start rallying around Fizz and Ty over Hope. So Alina's lost a baby, and she was in a flat fire. She was in a fire and had to be rescued. And she's feeling abandoned, and she gets drunk in the Rovers. And as she's weaving herself back home again, after having a family meeting, Fizz spots her and makes Ty take her home. And when Alina says she feels forgotten, Ty says he regrets how things have worked out, and says that he imagined that they would marry and raise a family. And this is when Ty is in shock when Alina agrees to try again and to get married, and that's his accidental.
So he's saying to her, I wish it had turned up, but was he almost ending it?
Yes, but she took it as, I really wanted us to get married. So that's how you accidentally propose.
He can't go through with it, surely.
Who knows? What a mess is what I'm going to say. What a mess. Now,
total mess. But a great storyline. Absolutely great.
If he'd have been, sense about it, he would have stopped it there and then said, no, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then my hope is that they'll all get back together and it'll all be happy ever after.
Yes, but this is a soap, and I'm going to go with. I was chatting to one of my work colleagues about this. We decided that Corrie are going to go right up to the wedding. We're going to have a wedding. And
yes, because they love a wedding, and then when the wedding happens, of course, it doesn't really happen, and there's a big explosion or something. Yeah, that's totally right. That's exactly what happened.
We got Christmas coming up. I wondered whether they do a Christmas wedding.
Christmas special. Yeah.
Yes.
Love it. Okay. Well, let's leave that one there because that's absolutely brilliant. Hollyoaks. Do we think Summer's reign of terror might be over this week?
Well, who knows? I think it is going to be over. It's going to. This is coming to a head this week. Brody came back last week determined to clear his name for Liberty's supposed murder. So we know that Summer had her kidnapped her and then made out that Brody had killed her. So this week somebody discovers Summer's diary and gun. So actually, people are naughty. If you find a diary, you would probably read it, wouldn't you? So someone's read the diary. Let's be honest, you would. I can tell you definitely would with all the giggling.
Do you know what? I actually don't know if I would. That sort of thing. You want to, but I'd feel terrible if I did, wouldn't you?
Yes. So anyway, you found out a lot if you read Summer's diary.
Yeah, I bet.
And her gun. So actually, the secret is out because somebody else knows what Summer is like, what she's been doing to Brody, why she agreed to marry him. They know the whole shebang. But what are they going to do with this information? And we've got Brody's best friend Damon wants to help Brody out, and he decides to trick Summer, but he's double crossed, and then Brody can't contact him. So what's happened to him? So do we have another Summer victim? Who knows? And now most people can't out-scheme Sienna. I mean, she was married to 6-time killer Warren after all. So Sienna's
She's hardcore.
Sienna, she is hardcore. And but has she met her match in Evil Summer as she tries to trick her this week into confessing the truth, because Sienna's discovered the truth. And now all I can say is as Summer's plans continue to unravel, and they are unravelling, she goes head-to-head with Sienna. Now there's a spiked drink, an arrest and a gunshot, but who will come out on top?
I can't even hazard a guess. I can't even hazard a guess, to be honest with you. I actually don't know.
Yes, I'm thinking it has to be Sienna.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe Sienna and Brody get back together, because he did on his stag night, he did get drunk and say, I think I should be marrying you.
We need the equilibrium restored.
Yes.
In this place. That'll never happen, Hannah. Okay, so finally, last but definitely not least, EastEnders. Suki makes a shock confession to Honey this week.
Yes. So we've seen Honey's been really nice to Suki, because her son Jags was killed in prison, and it really sent Suki into a spin. And I know we've not really liked Suki because she's a bit of a meddler and she's been a bit mean. And let's be honest, she did get Jags sent to prison for something that his brother Vinny did. So this thing about her son dying in prison for something, when he was in prison and got sentenced to 4 years for something he didn't do, is really eating at her. And it would do, Hannah, it would really eat at you. And, and Honey doesn't know any of this, but she's been kindness herself. She's been making sure, because at one point, Suki wasn't eating and she wasn't really getting the shop open. So Honey's been really helping her and being there for the grieving mum. And this week, she offers to help Suki sort through Jag's things. Now, that's a really difficult for anybody to do. And she witnesses an argument between Suki and Suki's son Kirat. And then, because Kirat knows all about it and is really blaming his mum. And then Suki confesses all to Honey, which is, that Jags is dead because of her. And Honey is left reeling. What will she do? It's a shocking statement, because Honey's really nice. She's such a lovely person.
Honey's just a kind person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, and there's a bit of football fever, isn't there? Because if Harry Redknapp was in the Spur, wasn't he, not so long ago? If that wasn't enough, Cat's son Tommy gets a trial and he could make the local team. So I guess maybe he will be the next Harry Kane.
He might be the next Harry Kane. Yeah. So that's all. So yes, Cat's all up in getting really stressed about this. Because Tom is a big thing when you have a son go to play. For a local team, and you have to do these trials, because I suppose mothers and parents think, well, maybe this is a way to life of riches, because if you become a professional footballer, we know how much they earn. Yeah, which
you become a tiger mum.
Yes, trying to get them there.
I identify as one of those. Not.
So I think Cat's thinking maybe this is a way for Tommy to get a really good future, become a professional footballer.
Well, she's not wrong, is she? I mean, break out from the square, to have a nice life of more leopard print, but with a label on, rather than from the market. Oh, Claire, thank you very much. What a great week of soaps. We will be back next week with some more gossip.